get started with it. Okay, so this is somewhat of a combined story and breaking news, folks. So if it's breaking news, let's go ahead and do this. Hey, I hope all you sitting down. It's finally happened after 48 days. 48 days. It finally happened. Kamala actually updated her campaign website. She's got the issues now. Look at that. A new way forward. The issues. It's Kamala Harris. Still asking for money, of course. A new way forward. Build an opportunity economy and lower costs for families. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Look at this. Do cut taxes for middle class families? Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Make rent affordable and home ownership more attainable? Pfft, that ain't gonna happen. Grow small business and invest in entrepreneurs? Nope. Take on bad actors and bring down costs? No. Strengthen and bring down the cost of health? That ain't happening. Protect? No. Security, Social Security, Medicaid? No, that ain't happening. Support? What is this? American innovation workers? No. Invest in affordable child care, lower energy costs, provide pathway. No, that's not going to happen. But what's this? Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What? Okay. Huh. What's this? Not one more time? Wait a minute. Again, more of Trump's 2025 agenda. What's Trump doing here? So no matter what, look at this. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. 4. 4 in a row. 4 little ducks in a row. Trump's Project 2025 agenda. You know, all these projects, you know, here's the thing. I'm going to keep it simple for all of you. Very simple. Yes, these are serious issues. It took you 48 days to do so, but Kamala and Democrats, listen, if you're going to start being serious, maybe hire a better coder, because after 48 days as sitting vice president, Kamala Harris has finally put policy on her listed website. The only problem is the meta description still says re-elect Joe Biden. What are you, dumb, stupid, or dumb? Again, new way forward. Kamala Harris for president, official campaign. Together we can finish the job for the American people. Are you with us? Okay, great. Well, if you could see right here in the coding, it's highlighted. Got to zoom in. Camera intensify. I think that's as close as I can get to it. It says, are you with us? Join our campaign to re-elect Joe Biden. And oh no, a new way forward. Kamala Harris for president, official campaign website. I got to see if this is up there still. Maybe they could have fixed it. Maybe they didn't. Hold on. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? Okay. Maybe they still have it up there. I think they fixed it. Oh, Ratzenheimer. Could have fixed it, but we didn't. Oh, well. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. But that was there. And that's from Hotspot as the source of it. But why is this important? Because, well, now that Kamala Harris has finally listed her policies, now that that was happening, I think it's only fair that we bring up the fact that there's a debate that's going to take place tomorrow. Now, I still have to decide like what's going on for tomorrow, because there's a lot of projects that I have to take care of for Tuesday as well. But if so, knowing how strict YouTube is when it came down to covering these debates, and let's face it, Hardlands Media had to tiptoe around that, we might make it a Rumble Kickstream exclusive. I have to just check out, which is a few other things, because some stuff came up on my schedule. but we are set. But let's go ahead and see how corporate media is preparing themselves, or use that, talking about how there's going to be a debate between Kamala and Trump. Yes, this is a preview. It's a pregame preview of what's going to happen Tuesday. Now, no matter what happens, I mean, it is the end-all, be-all game here. Democrats, you better hope Kamala has what it takes, and Republicans, you better not hope Trump doesn't crap the bed. No matter what happens, you don't have a say, but I want to pull up this video here from Case Study QB because NBC News decides looking back at Trump's debate moments. Some of these will be funny, I bet.
It's the debate showdown that could change the course of a neck-and-neck election. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Trump will meet face-to-face for the first time. Trump now sharpening his attacks.
She's not a good debater. She's not a smart person. But that one was a beauty.
Some of Trump's most memorable campaign moments have happened during debates.
Businessman Donald Trump.
From first taking the stage in a crowded GOP primary field in the 2016 election, his explosive performances stole the spotlight, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Okay, you don't have to be too mean, but look, let's face it. That 2016 election cycle was, I wish I cherished it more because I miss it a little bit. It was there were some funny moments, you know, lying Ted, weak Jeb, little boy Rubio, low energy Jeb, I think, and little boy Rubio. Again, pure gold stuff. Pure gold.
Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president?
What I say is what I say. And honestly, Megan, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me.
Becoming notorious for his brash takedowns of his opponents, like one-time frontrunner Jeb Bush.
I know you're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is
real tough.
You're never going to be president of the United States
tough,
by insulting your way to the
let's see.
presidency.
I'm at 42 and you're at 3, so
Doesn't matter.
far I'm doing better.
Okay, that was funny.
Then there were his 3 presidential debates with Hillary Clinton.
Putin, from everything I see, has no respect for this person.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
But here's what I don't want people.
In another face-off, famously stalking her around the debate stage.
Probably the first time ever somebody was stalking Hillary Clinton. Like, you know, because after all, anybody that's ever tried to be a witness against the Clintons, somehow, mysteriously, Palpatine has returned. They have all met some very unfortunate ends, allegedly.
We just turn it back to the insurance companies.
And inviting women who had accused her husband of sexual misconduct.
Now, that was funny, too.
In 2020, running as an incumbent, Trump interrupting Joe Biden constantly in their first debate, by one count, 145 times.
I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm here
much.
standing facing you, buddy.
Well, there's nothing happening there.
Donald, would you
And you
just be
don't
quiet
know
for a minute?
her.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why would
because
you answer that?
Wow. Biden, when he's still somewhat cognitively there, but even then he was on his decline.
because the
You wanna
question
put a lot
is
of
the
new
question
Supreme Court
is
justice,
the
radical
question-
left.
Will you
Who
shut
is your,
up, man?
listen, who
And stirring controversy when he said this about the far-right extremist group, the Proud Boys.
give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
This election cycle, Trump notably skipped the primary debates, but the first president.
Yes, and everybody in corporate media was saying he was going to lose. He was going to lose. And what was the one thing that was brought up in all those Republican primary debates? They kept talking about Donald Trump. That's what they kept doing. They kept talking about him. The man didn't show up, and he still won. And even after all the primary debates were over, he still won. Man, a lot of liberals would be like, oh, he's going to lose. He's going to lose. I didn't. I didn't. He won. He didn't show. He did his own things. He either had his own town hall or an interview with Tucker Carlson or something else. And you know what? They outperformed all the Republican primary debates. Okay? That's what happened. It is the truth. And Republican voters in the primary voted for Trump.
presidential debate likely going down as one of the most consequential in history.
With the COVID, excuse me, with
There's Trump. Like, can you believe that they put this brain dead guy on the stage? Like, he doesn't have to say anything. He's just like, wow, his family doesn't love him. Oh, did I hurt too close, liberals? Yeah, it was supposed to. I mean, come on. Joe Biden was on a mental decline. Always has been. 3.5 years. We were being led by a senile senior citizen. I don't hear shite from you.
dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
After the disastrous performance, President Biden dropped out of the race. This exchange serving as a pivotal moment.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end.
I shouldn't laugh at that. I shouldn't. But man, me and Daniel got so much crap from so many people after the 2020 election. Like, oh, you guys are wrong. Yeah, see, Biden beat Trump. Oh, look at this. Trump's done for. He's going to jail. No, he didn't. Trump ran again. He won his primary. He's now a contender against Kamala Harris. This election can go 50-50. But we did say he was going to come back after 2020, and that Biden was going to be on a steep decline. Turns out me and Daniel were correct.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
With just days to go, Trump repeating his familiar mantra, saying he doesn't do traditional debate prep.
President Trump, how are you specifically preparing for the debate versus Harris?
I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I think my whole life I've been preparing for a debate.
All right, and with that, Dasha Burns joins us now in studio. Dasha, good to see you off the campaign trail, which is a rarity.
Sure.
I do want to ask you, so the former president says he's not really preparing, his life has prepared him, but we do know that Tulsi Gabbard, who used to be a Democrat, is now helping the former president?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you'll remember,
I gotta tell you, man. Something tells me that Trump did somewhat prepare for this, because there are ways to take down Kamala Harris. And for those Kamala Harris supporters that can't have, hey, vote blue no matter who. Listen, I know that you're all hyped up that Kamala was VP for 3.5 years, and I know you're happy she's the nominee, but just remember how she started. Started with a bang and ended like a fart in the wind in the Democratic primary. Marianne Williamson lasted longer than her, and so did Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was the last woman standing in the 2020 Democratic primary. Kamala got 0 delegates. Her campaign went bankrupt, and Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her not once but twice. If you don't think that Tulsi wasn't keeping tabs on Kamala and ready to give a 1-2 punch for the day that it's needed, this might be it. We might see something happen tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But if Trump is smart, there's a treasure trove of political ammunition you could use against Kamala to make her stutter and stammer and look like a clown. Now, by all means, no matter who wins, we lose. But Trump would be a moron to not take advantage of that opportunity. There's a lot of stuff working against Kamala.
remember, Gabbard has shared the debate stage with Vice President Kamala Harris before, back in the 2020 presidential primary, the Democratic primary. So she's going to be giving some of that insight, what it's like to be on stage. It's his second debate of this presidential cycle, but of course his first against his new opponent.
So the debate rules have been published. They're out now. There's no real difference from the debate with CNN. Does this benefit the former president in any way?
Well, this is what the former president's team was pushing, that they keep the same rules as CNN, particularly the issue of the muted mics. I know we've talked about this before. The Trump team wanted to keep those same rules, keep the mics muted when they're not speaking, when the candidate's not speaking. That's something that the Harris team kind of pushed against. They thought it might be more detrimental for former President Trump to have the mics open, maybe more of those bombastic moments that we've shown in this piece here. But the rules will be the same. Mics will be muted and no audience, which could be potentially a detriment to the former president because he does tend to play off the crowd.
Dasha Burns.
Now, of course, Fox News gave its own response back to this. Of course, got to hear from both sides of the aisle. Because apparently Kamala's team is somewhat a little scared.
We know that Vice President Kamala Harris, she is in her hotel in Pittsburgh. They've got the lights as if it's in a studio. They've got the stage. They've even brought in somebody who's dressed and acting like the former president. And then we know that the former president himself is just having sort of informal policy discussions from what we understand in preparation for Tuesday. What do both of these candidates need to prove, Pete?
Well, Kamala Harris has to prove that she is ready for prime time. She's done no solo interviews as the nominee. She does very few unscripted events. And when we do see her in those types of situations throughout the years, she tends to fall flat on her face. So she needs to demonstrate for the American people that she is up to the task of being president of the United States, that she can stand up to the progressive elements of her party that want Israel to just fold to terrorists. And
don't worry, conservatives, don't worry. Kamala and the Democrats will never let the progressives win. All right. I mean, listen, as somebody who's seen the same old propaganda from a lot of progressives who think we can reform the Democrats. No, it ain't gonna happen. Listen, and I know I got a couple conservative viewers and libertarians who watch this show. And listen, guys. Progressives do not have a foothold in the Democratic Party, okay? It's just not going to happen, okay? They'll say it. It's sort of like what you see, like when wrestlers say, like, "Oh, I will break you at SummerSlam this year. I will see you in the ring." That's all what progressives or Democrats are saying, and they'll never implement a progressive policy, okay? So just they ain't going to do it. Just throwing it out there.
And that she could stand up to adversaries like China and Iran and Russia all across this world. That's what she needs to prove. She also needs to defend the indefensible, which is the record and policies of the Biden-Harris administration. Because the American people are seeing an economy and inflation and immigration policies that are not in their favor, and she's going to have to defend those. Donald Trump is going to, I think, hold her feet to the fire, and she's got to be prepared for those withering attacks.
Now, let's see what happens for tomorrow. It will be a debate. There will be a debate. There will be a fight between Kamala and Trump. And no matter what happens, there won't be an overall final conclusion or a wrap up to how this will all play out. But it is rather disappointing that this is what we've been reduced down to, the bottom of the barrel. Now, I am curious to see how this will play out. Now, we here at Hardlands Media, if we won't be able to cover the live stream event, we will be giving our thoughts for the aftermath of the debate. But Democratic and Republican voters, just remember, when election night is over, no matter who wins, nothing will change.